Okay folks, welcome back to the channel. Today you find me driving a Volvo C30, a car that I have never driven before. In fact, this is only the second Volvo I've actually driven. If you've driven any Volvo S40, V40, they're all very similar inside, and this is the exact same interior as I had in the other one that I was driving. Do you know what? Everything is solid. The leather steering wheel is immaculate. I mean, this is a 2010, so it's a 10-year-old car, and it's got 90,000 miles, so the miles are low on it. But I mean, the steering wheel is pristine. I don't mean that it's not bad, it's polished up, okay? It's immaculate. And it's the same as all the other buttons in the car. Everything has retained the writing. It's not like the Audis, the heater button and the stereo buttons, they all kind of wear out really quickly, and you can kind of see what channel has been the previous owner's favourite. But everything in here is really solid. It's not flashy. You've got this waterfall centre console that they call it, and it's functional. It does everything alright, although it's a bit strange that you've got this kind of storage space round the back, and it's almost the shape of cup holders. It's not obviously a cup holder per se, but it's a shame that the waterfall isn't further back and you've got the cup holders there and a bit more space here. But I mean, hey, you can't have everything, can you? Handles really well, okay? If you're looking for a little kind of sensible slash sporty slash economical car to run, maybe you're doing big miles, this is faultless for that. 150 brake horsepower coming from the 2-litre diesel, 55 miles per gallon, so it is pretty frugal, and man is it torquey. 6-speed box, and when you drop a gear, 3,500 revs, the engine is loving it. Up to 4. That is nice. I'll just slow down a little bit there. Beautiful car. The only problem I've had is a random bulb message coming up. I don't know if the bulb's on its way out and it's just about to blow, or it's some weird electrical problem, but it kind of comes on for a while and goes off again, and comes on and goes off. It's not on constant, so I'll need to have a look at that. I've not put a bulb in it. This has got the Xeon HID bulbs, so they're a bit more expensive than the kind of normal halogen ones, but we'll get one and put it in and see what it does. But this is a really nice looking machine. The styling is really nice. I like the rear arches, and I like how it looks like a Volvo from the back. I mean, there's no denying it. It doesn't need a badge with those big lights at the back that they kind of run almost from the top to the bottom. It looks like a Volvo, and it handles so well. I mean, you can throw this into the corner and it just soaks it up. It is lovely. So this is the SE Lux model, Lux for luxury. It comes with full leather interior, electric everything, electric windows, electric mirrors, aircon, CD, aux-in, all the bits and bobs. The only one thing this doesn't have, that was an option on it, which would have been an absolute legend of a thing to do, is the heated seats. That would have been the cherry on the cake for this car, but whoever was ordering this car back in 2010 and looked at that option, bypassed it, I think they made a little bit of a mistake. But this is a cracking all-rounder, as long as you don't need much space. The boot is tiny, you struggle to get a spare tyre in it, and the back seats, there's not a lot of space in the back seats at all. It'll be okay for the occasional maybe a 5-year-old with a car seat in it, but again, when you're trying to reach in and strap on a seatbelt into a rear seat like this in a 3-door coupe, any parent will tell you that it's not much fun, which is why most parents sell their 3 doors when they have a baby. Get the 5-door. That's what us parents like when we've got children. When the children leave the nest, then yeah, that's the time for the 3 doors. So these engines, low maintenance, Normal oils and filters and things to be replaced. Timing belt is on this 2 litre diesel version. The timing belt is due 150,000 miles, which is really high, and 10 years. Now, I've never done a timing belt on one of these cars before, but what I can tell you is the research I've done is people who have done the timing belts and left it to 150,000 miles have said that the belt doesn't look like it needs to be replaced, and that's not one person, that's a bunch of technicians who have said the same thing. So it seems that you can get away with leaving the belt, but as always, when it comes to a timing belt, you want to get it done, don't you? And just make sure that your pride and joy isn't going to explode one day and be worth nothing. So, normal cost to get the timing belt replaced on this, you're probably looking about £300 or thereabouts, so it's not massive, quite normal. A couple of knacky things, because it is a Volvo, is the headlights. I was talking about the bulb replacement. It's a really easy job to do. It's not like some cars that you have to replace the whole front bumper, or you need to take out wheel liners or anything like that. Literally under the bonnet, when you lift it up, there's a metal clip that you pull up, and it then releases the whole headlight, which just makes the job of replacing any bulb so much easier. I don't know why more manufacturers don't do that. Saying that, this car is pretty much, I'm calling it a Volvo, but it's pretty much a Focus underneath. If you look in the engine bay, you've got Ford written on the majority of the parts in there, you know, from the coolant bottle, the hoses, the engine mounts, it's the suspension components, it's all got Ford written on it. So it's a cheap Volvo, but it's a Volvo nonetheless. Things to watch out for if you're looking to buy one of these Volvos. It appears that when you get into 10 years, 80,000 miles or thereabouts, the steering wheel, because it's got buttons on it and an airbag and so on, like most modern vehicles, it has a thing called a clock spring. And that's basically a way for the wires to link from the main dashboard through to the steering wheel. So when you're turning the steering wheel back and forth, the wires make contact, and the clock spring lets that happen. But they do fail because they are little pins rubbing on contacts. And this was coming up with an airbag light, so I've replaced the clock spring, and I'll leave out a link to the video above just now of how to do that if you have the same problem on your car. The paint on this, on the metal part, is fantastic. All good. It's standing up to the sun and stone chips. However, the plastic paint, the plastic bumper at the front has got a lot of stone chips, and it seems that the paint of the compound they've used has been a little bit weaker, and it has sustained a lot of kind of stone chips on the front. So some of the annoying things with the Volvo and the boot space we've touched on already. The seatbelt, the driver's seatbelt, you need to be double jointed to get the seatbelt, and it always slides way back. Even though there's a clip to hold it, even with a clip holding the seatbelt where it's meant to be, you still need to like double back in to try and get hold of that seatbelt. But the key is to the left of the steering wheel, like a bunch of Audis have started doing. And I get in, and every time I'm going for the right hand side, and it takes a wee moment just to kind of familiarise myself. Little fiddly things, nothing major at all. So this was first made in 2007, the C30, and it was then facelifted in 2010. This is one of the first facelift models, which if you're going to get one, go for the facelift. The other headlights on the original just look a bit weird. Just kind of black rings kind of painted around the headlight to kind of make them look fancy or modern. I'm not sure what they were going for with that, but that's what they decided to do in their wisdom. So go for the facelift, 2010 on. This has been since replaced by the V40, and it does have nods with the lights and the kind of overall kind of front design. And the V40 I drove as a hire car about 6 months ago, and we did about 300 miles in it, and it was a nice car, but it wasn't economical by any manner of means, and that was the diesel as well. And the boot space in the back, this had more, because it was a diesel, it had the AdBlue tank in the boot, so to find space for this tank, they obviously lifted the boot, so you had a very, very shallow boot. There's another cyclist. Come on, mate. It's a big hill and a big fat guy on a bike. Not a great combination. Right guys, let's try 0 to 60 for you and see what we can come up with. And 3, 2, 1, go. Better spin this time. Traction control kicking in. 40, 50, 60, 9.5. How's that for being professional? Okay folks, well listen, thanks for watching. We will catch you again in the next video. As usual, like, subscribe, comment below for vehicles that you'd like to see reviewed, and anything you think we can do better. Stay safe, take it easy, God bless.